By now you've got your truck or trailer, you've got your equipment and supplies, and you've done a few tests on your own driveway to ensure that you know how to assemble your equipment for a job and how to clean it up afterwards. Now, you need to understand how to price a job. You'll need a pen and paper or a computer with a spreadsheet program ready for this video. There's more to pricing than dividing the costs of your raw material by your time. You need to understand 1. Your total cost, 2. Your competition and what they're charging, 3. How much your customers are expecting to spend. There are 2 types of cost, fixed and variable. Your fixed costs never change, regardless of whether you are having a good month or a bad month. Some examples of your fixed costs are lease payments on your vehicle, rent for your office if you have one, your monthly phone and internet bills, insurance, taxes, licenses, and utilities. Variable costs go up and down with your business. Sealer and crack filler, gas for your vehicle, replacement parts, and even part-time staff fall into this category. Make 2 columns on your paper or spreadsheet, one for fixed costs and one for variable costs. Pause this video and write down every known expense you have in the appropriate column, and then come back here. Have you covered everything you could think of? Great. Now take your fixed costs and your variable costs, and now you have your break-even number. If you charge less than your break-even number, your business will lose money, and we definitely don't want that. If you'd like to make 40%, take your baseline break-even number and add 40%. Now, check out the competition. Have a friend call them to price their driveway, or you could do the same. How does that compare to what you would charge? Determining where you want to be from a price perspective in your area is called your pricing strategy. Selecting the neighborhood to work in to provide your asphalt maintenance services is very, very important. What I always recommend is, 1, you go to a neighborhood that requires asphalt maintenance services. I wouldn't select a neighborhood that's a brand new construction or brand new development where the driveways are all a month old. You always want to look for those driveways that are oxidized. And what I mean by oxidized is the sun's dried it out. It doesn't have that black color. It's very, very gray in appearance. Aggregate from the asphalt is starting to be exposed on the surface. So when we are able to pick out neighborhoods that do have the gray asphalt areas, those are perfect clients for you to approach and profit from. Another thing that we look for is we look for neighborhoods that may have had the streets redone. Having the streets redone usually means that they've had to cut out the curbs and bottoms of the driveway by about 4 or 5 feet, meaning that they have new asphalt on the road, new asphalt at the bottom of the driveway because they've perhaps poured in new concrete curbs. So what do you think these residential homeowners think about their zebra-looking driveway? Brand new black asphalt at the bottom and grayed out at the top. Well, we know that all of these residential homeowners want to make sure that they have a nice, aesthetically pleasing driveway that matches the rest of their property. Time is money in this business, so we look to get the best profit from the jobs that we go out and work on. The larger the driveway, the more money you make. So perhaps you might live in an area where there's estates along a lake or a river. You may have large properties around a golf course. You may even have an area that may be a gated community, and offering a service through the community, the HOA for example, offering a service to local homeowners within that gated community could be great because you've got your in through the homeowners association, which means that you've been approved by the homeowners association to go and offer your services to the driveways in that gated community. Well, there's a couple different ways that you can price a job. One is you can call your competition and determine what they're charging for their jobs. I never really recommend charging more than what they're charging, but I also don't recommend undercutting them. Match their price in around that number, but sell the quality on the products that you have versus your competition. You'll notice that your competitors are generally earning between 50 and 70% margin. You can too, but you have a superior quality product, and sell it that way. So pricing a job will be based upon what your competition is selling their stuff for, and then setting up the different leverage points to allow you to convert your clients into paying customers. Another way to price a job is based upon the community that you're entering to work in. As an example, you may enter a community where the driveways are 5 years old. We know that a 5-year-old driveway will not require the same amount of sealer as those that are 20 years old. So when you're pricing jobs, try and determine how old the asphalt is based upon its appearance. If you're noticing that the asphalt is dry and gray, but very smooth, not a lot of cracks, chances are it's under 10 years old. If you start seeing driveways that are really gray with the rocks and aggregates starting to get exposed and there's loose rocks on the surface, and there's cracks, and there's an odd pothole on the side, you'll notice that's probably a driveway around 15 years old, potentially 20. Know that your costs on applying sealer to an older driveway is going to be more significant than those that are newer. Take that into consideration. So as an example, on an older driveway, I may add an extra $30 in on the job just to cover the materials that I'm adding to an older driveway. With a newer driveway, perhaps I can offer a bit of a discount because we're not applying as much sealer. Find that balance. Call one of our experts to find out what your market prices are. Our experts are here to advise you and assist you with the markets that you're working in as well, to give you some direction. Now that you've determined what you're going to quote the client, go up to the door and provide the client with the quotation. Hand them a quotation in written form. Make sure your name is on it and all of your contact information. Once you've provided the quotation and you've spiked the client's interest and they're happy with the price, make sure that you are not afraid to ask for the sale. It's very important to ask for the sale. If you just leave the quote with the client, there's an opportunity for an out. In this case, you definitely want to ask to have the opportunity to do that driveway today. That's why you're there. Don't be afraid to ask. Now that you've landed the sale and the client's excited about having his driveway done to increase their aesthetic value of their property, it's now time to tell them this. You don't need to pay me up front. You're going to pay me after the job, once you're satisfied with it. You want 100% satisfaction from your customers. Therefore, always ask them to pay at the end. I've never once in my whole experience in the industry not had somebody pay. Because if they're unhappy with a crack being filled, you're going to go and fill the crack properly. If the seam up by the foundation that you've sold is not filled properly and the client's seeing that, they'll tell you. You want to do that with a smile on your face so that in the future you can earn back the business, have that loyalty amongst your customers to come back to you and have you provide the same services again in the future. It only helps build your business. Now it's time to collect payment. Your client is happy with the services that you've provided on their property. I suggest taking cash, check, credit card, PayPal, smartphone apps that have payment processing attached to it. And in the case that they want to make an e-payment, they can do that too. The whole goal here is to accept any form of payment that the client's willing to pay you with. The goal is to fill your bank account. Accept what the client offers. Set that up now. You can go to your account information in your Build Your Own Business Blueprint and you can see those resources that we recommend in order to accept money.